to my channel, World on a String by Dara. My name is Dara, and I was not originally planning to do a floss tube because we're moving. If you haven't noticed, I am in a different area than I usually film because I'm on the floor, and where I usually film, right over there, is literally stacked almost high to the ceiling with boxes. So, I guess that's a really big life update really fast, is we're moving. We bought a house. It's our very first house. We are so excited, and we move in about 2 weeks. So, our closing date actually just got postponed like another week. But without going super deep into the details, I thought I was moving next week. Turns out I'm not. So I figured, why not get a floss tube out of the way? Give the people what they want, right? So I'm going to make this a floss tube special, and it's going to be a WIP parade, and we're going to go through all of my WIPs. I literally have them laying out in front of me right now, like in a huge pile. So let's get started. I have so much to cover today. So let's start with finishes. I have a lot for you this time. So my first finish is something I completed in like 2 days. It was almost a start and finish in 1 day, but that didn't happen, you know. Whatever. So it looks like, I'm trying to figure out, really doesn't like focusing. This is called The First Ideal. It is from a book series that my husband and I love called The Stormlight Archive. And it is minor spoilers, I guess. So, you know, like very minor. So if you want to read the books, maybe don't read the quote. But I saw this pattern. It is by Taylor and Cromwell, I believe. And I just did it on a 14 count or 16 count Ada really fast. I love the book series. I'm actually reading through it for the second time right now. It's by Brandon Sanderson, and yeah, this is like the core of the whole first book, and it's so good, you guys. So I saw this pattern, I knew I had to stitch it, and I did. So these symbols here are the Alethi women's script. In the books, it is the feminine arts that cover logic, math, writing, science, and so the men, the masculine arts are like war and fighting and more physical type things, and so the men actually don't know how to read or write, except the rare few who are like the surgeons and doctors and whatever. But this is technically the Alethi women's script that is special just for the women. I love this piece. It's finished. I hope I can frame it and hang it up in our house. I really want to get this one like really nicely framed, so I want to take it to my LNS Acorns and Threads and see if they can finish it really nicely. The second finish I have is not actually my technical finish, but it is my pattern, so it's like my own pattern that I designed, so I did want to showcase it, and it's called Harvest Season. I actually will just show this WIP earlier. I had to get it done super fast because I participated in Needlework Marketplace this past weekend, and so my test stitcher got it done just in time for me to be able to present it at the marketplace. But I have actually started it myself too, right here. So I am like halfway done, if not almost done with this. I just need to go through and do all the colors. Super cute. I love this. I am a huge fan of canning and preserving food. I have a freeze dryer, and I do a lot of pressure canning and like water bath canning. So those hobbies really inspired this design for me, and it's just adorable. I think I'm doing this, I believe it's a 14 count just gray Ada that I picked up at the craft store. So nothing special. It's a little more brown than gray, which I think is why I liked it. But yeah, the finished one looks like this. And it's super cute. So yeah, like I said, I launched it at Needlework Marketplace this past weekend. You can pick it up at your local LNS if they picked up a copy. Otherwise, it is on my website in a print pattern. It'll be digital in the new year. So just for exclusivity for shops to be able to sell it and to motivate you to go to your local needlework shops because they're super fun. My other finish is similar. It's called Merry Moments. It's another pattern that I designed. Here's the finish. My test stitcher Caroline finished it for me. Thank you so much, Caroline. I guess I should mention the harvest season one was test stitched by the lovely Elliot. So thank you so much, Elliot. She's amazing. Back to Merry Moments. This is a little cute Christmas piece inspired by one of my mother-in-law's favorite animals, which is hedgehogs. And I was rather in a Christmas mood lately. So I really wanted to design something cozy and cute for Christmas. And I was just like, you know what? It needs hedgehogs. So it's a little hedgehog family having a cozy winter night. And so there is that finish. And the last finish is called See the Future. And it's a pattern that I finished exclusive to the Creepy Carnival box by Starlight Stitchery. My test stitcher Renee finished half of it, and then I finished the latter half. It is actually packed right now, otherwise I would show it to you in person. I tried to like pull out everything I could for this thing, but unfortunately I did pack that. So I will be sure to show you the actual piece next time. But this is exclusive to the box. The box is unfortunately all sold out, but the pattern will be available later in the year if you are interested in getting it. So this was a super fun piece. I was reading the David Bod trilogy at the time, which is a very Egyptian lore heavy series, and the main character, she's actually not a fake fortune teller, but that's kind of her job in the beginning, is scamming people as a fortune teller in Egypt, in Cairo. So that like pseudo inspired this pattern while also fitting the theme really, really well. So I had a lot of fun designing and finishing the stitching of this one. All right, so let's get into, I think I only have one start this time. And then guys, I have so many WIPs for you. So my one start is another pattern by Taylor and Cromwell. It looks like this, and it is also from the Stormlight Archive, which is the same book series this pattern was from, my finish. And I don't have too much started on it. It is rather large. So I'm doing this on a 18 count black Ada. I've only got the first few words of the first quote done. And it's just going to take some time. I think I've only like kitted up the first page's worth of colors, which is just like 3 colors. But I think it'll be good. It's a nice big one to work on, and it's not quite full coverage. It's like letters, and I find that lettering goes really, really fast. So I think that will be a fun one to pull out and work on this winter. So now let's get to the exciting stuff. So I'm going to go through the WIPs that I usually show you and have made progress on, and then we're going to dive into my massive WIP pile for the WIP Parade. So the first WIP that I have to show you is the, let's see, it's the Wizard's Inventory Stitch Along by Sewing Starfish. And this is a stitch along that just started. Gosh, she's actually started releasing the motifs, so it's gotta be like more than 6 weeks ago now. I'm still not even finished with part 1, but who cares? And last time, it looks like this so far with all of the releases, and I love all of the coloring that they do for the bordering and the shadowing. It's amazing. But I'm still working on my wizard. I think I had just barely started on like his coat and beard last time. So here is where he is now. I've gotten a huge section for his sleeve. I did a little bit of his hat, and I did just a hair more on his face. So not a whole lot done here, but you know, enough that it was good to mention. So I love this stitch along. I keep forgetting to pull this one out and work on it just because I've had so much going on with Needlework Marketplace, but I really love this, and I really want, my goal this winter is to kind of focus in and get a ton of my WIPs, like get a lot of progress on them or finish a chunk of them, because I've got a lot of them, and a lot of them are like halfway done or if not almost done, and I think it would be really fun when it's cold and I need a little bit of cozy to just kind of hunker down, get some of them done. So that is a great pattern. The other pattern that I actually pulled out this time is Cozy Witchy Christmas by Flossy Fox Shop. And here I am on this one. I have not pulled this one out since last year, or like even early this year, and I made a ton of progress on it. So last time I showed you guys this pattern, I was still finishing up a lot of the motifs in this first little area. I had just barely started the window outline, so I've kind of finished a lot in this Christmas tree area, and then I've done like all of this. So yeah, I just like pulled it out and cranked on it. I'm really happy with it. I just love Flossy Fox Shop's patterns. They're so good. And this, like I said, I have been in a Christmassy mood lately, so I pulled this one out and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna make some progress on this one. Super cute. I am in love with like all of the little black kitties in this pattern. They crack me up and I love them. So I would actually really love to have this finished by Christmas time to hang in our new house. So we'll see what happens. But this one is being done on just an 18 count. Beige, Ada, nothing special. So the other pattern I've been making a ton of progress on is my Stardew Valley pattern. So last episode I talked a lot about the strategy that I'm kind of developing for this pattern, which because it has a lot of full coverage spots and then it jumps around a lot. Here's where I am. I guess I'll show you before explaining. My strategy is to obviously do all of the full coverage spots, but I was having a lot of trouble because there are over 100 things of floss. This whole bag is like literally floss. So I was kind of having trouble because I would be picking out a pattern, but or picking out a piece of floss to work with, and it would only be like 3 stitches and I'd be done with it. And so my strategy here was to go and do all of the outlines of all of the little different motifs, and then I can go back and fill in with all of the shading colors and work through them one by one, and I don't have to worry about counting or missing them or anything. So I think that strategy is really working out. I got like, I think there's only a little bit more of the pattern over here, so I got most of the motifs on the top done, which is great. I just kind of need to scooch it and keep going. So again, this is the Stardew Valley ABCs pattern. I'm doing this 1/1 on 25 count. I really actually like 1/1 on 25 count. I think I have another pattern down the line that I'll show you that is also 1/1 on 25 count, but I love this pattern. I got a little angry at it, so I put it away. Just wasn't quite feeling it anymore. I started to get into the Christmas mood and I'm like, okay, it's time to put this one away. But still made really good progress on it this month. Okay, the other one that I talked about last time is my bee patterns. So quick thing, if you didn't know, if this is your first time watching, I'm a beekeeper, so I'm obsessed with bee patterns. I might have bought like 3 more bee patterns in the haul that I'm going to show off later, so I kind of have a problem. This is one of many bee patterns that I will be showing you today. And this one is by Yellow Birdie Stitches. And I'm so sorry about my camera. Maybe I can get a picture of this one, but it is called the Chocolate Mining Bee, and it's a super cute little small that they released a few months ago, and she included some fun facts on chocolate mining bees, which are a species native to the UK that I didn't know about. And so the reason they're called mining bees is because they burrow in the ground, and the chocolate, unfortunately, doesn't mean that they eat chocolate. It means they're very dark brown colored, so it's about the coloring of the species. So this is a very, very cute pattern, and I'm about halfway done with this one too. There's a lot of little details to do on the border, and then I need to just do a ton of back stitching on the bee. So I've gotten a good chunk of it done though, and it's a cute little small to work on when I feel like working on a small. So it's being done on 28 count Monaco. My last big WIP that I feel like I can actually kind of show you, I think I still need to blur out a spot though when I show it to you, is my Ice and Fire stitch along. So this is a pattern I designed, and I've been running a stitch along with it, I believe since April or May, and it's almost done. I believe the stitch along will end in October. The last part at least will be released in October. But enough of it is done that I feel like I can actually show you. I've only showed you guys pictures, but I do a ton of stitching on this every month. And I haven't been able to share it, and it's been killing me. So I'm going to blur out the piece that is upcoming for the next release. It looks like this. So this is my Ice and Fire stitch along. We've got the Fire Fairy over here, the Ice Fairy over here, and then the next release will show what happens when the ice and fire collide. So cute, and just a very good example of a Dara pattern, I feel like. Super colorful, very fantastical, and yeah, I've done tons of work on this in the past few months. Because it's a huge piece, and I decided to stitch along with everyone, or at least one part ahead of everyone as I was releasing them. And there were some tight times, let me tell you, where I almost didn't get it out, but I did. So I love that pattern. I'm stitching it on 32 count charcoal linen. I'm not a big fan of linen, but that was one of the times when I was trying it out, and I still think it looks really good on the linen. So, all right, so let's get into the rest of my WIPs that I haven't touched in a while, but I'm starting to eye again. This one is called the Of Dragons and Apples stitch along. I believe the stitch along is finished now, so it's just called Of Dragons and Apples by Quaternion Creations, or yes, I think that's it. And it's a really, really big piece that looks like this. And so I have gotten barely anything done, but I do love it. I love the monochrome aspect of it, but I haven't been feeling super inspired by it lately as I was when I started it. I'm still a little hurt by the fact that I had to rip most of it out because I made a mistake in the very beginning. But I think I'm getting close to wanting to work on it again. It's a good, really easy small piece to bring around, like if I'm traveling or going anywhere. So yeah, there is that one. It's being stitched on 22 count Aida or Hardinger fabric, however you say that. The next pattern, which I should definitely finish this year, and its last companion piece, is the Turtle Doves ornament by Satsuma Street. This is a really cute ornament set that she has released. I've completed the partridge and the pear, and I have the French hen, which she released last year. She's releasing one a year, and it's all based on the 12 days of Christmas. So I need to still do the French hen, but these are so easy. I should just finish this, and I'm almost done with this one anyway. Turtle Doves, that's super cute. Here is where I'm at on this one. Like I said, very, very close. It would only take me like probably an hour of stitching, and then maybe 30 minutes to add all the sequins and beads onto it. I might just do that. I might set this one aside while we move as a piece to work on. We'll see. But it's very cute. I love all the colors. I have so many patterns of hers that I bought and just haven't started yet. Hence why I want to finish a bunch of stuff, because then I can free up some project bags and make some new starts. So very cute. It will be a perforated paper ornament. Fun stuff. All right, the next WIP in my pile is called, I believe it's called Christmas Dragons or Holiday Dragons, and it's by Make It Pink. I have barely made a start on this. The full pattern looks like this. It's huge, and I spent over $100 in money to get this, all the floss for this pattern, because it requires a ton of specialty floss, like crinock braid, like all of the fancy sparkly floss and whatnot. But it's beautiful so far. So this is my start. It's just the bottom tail of the first dragon, and it's gorgeous. The reason I haven't been working on it is because one of the next few flosses that I need, I actually don't have. It's one of the crinock braids that both my LNS and 123 Stitch didn't have. So I kind of need to go hunting again and find it, because I need it to get to like any of the next sections, and I just haven't done that yet. So I'm doing this, I believe, on a 28 count even weave Monaco fabric as well. That's kind of my favorite fabric if I'm going for if I have a pattern that needs a lot of like half stitches or quarter stitches or whatever. That's like my go-to fabric now, because it's perfect. So moving on. This pattern I haven't touched since I showed you guys. Aren't you proud of me? I'm not going to take it all the way out of the bag because the fabric amount is huge. But it is called, it's just called Moth or something by Vlada X Stitch. And I'm stitching it on a t-shirt. And I'm doing it on a black t-shirt. And I've only gotten like 10 stitches in. So it's not very exciting to show off. It's very warm to work on, which is one reason I haven't been working on it. And it's a long sleeve shirt, so I'm not super motivated to work on it when it's been super hot out. But hopefully that'll be a winter pattern when I have more space to take it out. I am excited about it. I think I'm a little wary about stitching on it in case I do it wrong, because I'm doing it on like a dissolvable canvas. So we'll see what happens. I think once I work on it a little more, I will feel a little more confident with it. A huge pile I'm trying to work through. So the next pattern, which I'm so close to finishing, I hope I can finish it by the end of this year. This is another bee pattern that I've been working on for a while. I've been periodically pulling it out in the spring times, because that's when I tend to be inspired to work on it. But it looks like this. It is a Stitch Rovia pattern. Here, let me try and like get the creases out. Yeah, so it's a Stitch Rovia pattern. And I love this pattern so much. I just need to keep working on it. I don't know why I put it away, because I really, really enjoy working on this pattern. It is so cute. Sorry, I'm like trying to keep it in focus as I'm showing it to you. But yeah, I'm like almost done. It requires a lot of half stitching or in 3/4 stitching, which I think is why I've been avoiding it, but I actually am starting to like those kinds of stitches more. So I don't think it'll be as much of an impedance. It also just is a lot of back stitching. Like, I don't know if you can see, but like this, that's a ton of back stitching, and I have to like back stitch over every single hive, every single motif that you do. Like, everything includes back stitching. I love back stitching. It just takes a long time to get through one little section of the pattern. But again, I love it, and I think I could finish it by the end of the year if I just pulled it out and worked on it. So we'll see how I feel about that. But it is very cute. And I'm stitching it on 28 count Monaco. I envisioned it, I think when I started the pattern, they said if you did it on a 14 count, you'd end up with a 10 by 10 piece, and that's originally what I wanted to stitch the size for. So hopefully I can just crank that out because it is so cute. Man, I'm going through all my stuff and realizing all the stuff I want to stitch now. This was a bad idea because I'm not going to want to put any of it away. But yeah, the rest of the pattern, you can't super see, but it looks like that. It's got 2 little cute honey jars and some cute little flower motifs. So there's a lot of cute stuff left to stitch on it. I'm excited to do that. All right, let's keep going. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 WIPs left to go. Thanks for hanging with me. So this pattern is called Guardian of the Wayfarers by, I'm always going to butcher this. I will put it on the screen because that's a lot easier. But it's a beautiful full coverage dragon, and I actually made a decent amount of progress on it. I haven't like actually worked on it in a while since this summer, but when I did work on it, I got a lot done. This is a very calming stitch to do actually because there's a lot of blocks of color. So like it's really satisfying to watch come together because of all of the shading. So I can't. Here, maybe I will take it out of the grime guard to show you. You guys are worth it. But it looks like this. So this is how much I've got done. I am almost done with the top third of the circle. And it's so beautiful. I am absolutely loving how this pattern is turning out. Like I said, super soothing. I'm doing it on an 18 count navy fabric. And it's just gorgeous. Like all of these blues are amazing. All of the oranges are amazing. I did a big chunk of like all of this a few weeks ago or months ago at this point. And I just love it. And I've been wanting to pull it out again. So when we move and I've got some more time to stitch, this will be one of the first patterns I pull out. I love that pattern. I should finish that pattern. That's what I say about all my patterns. Okay, oh, I do have 7 patterns. All right, we're still going. The next one I have is called Steampunk Bee. I love this pattern. It is by, I don't remember what the Etsy shop name is, but this is a full coverage pattern. And this is how much I have done on it. So this is my other 1/1 on 25 count. And it's a great pattern. I just haven't pulled it out in a while. So I should also do that. I have a lot of full coverage, smaller pieces, I guess, but this is also a fun pattern to work on. I just put it away for a while because I wasn't super motivated, and I think I started like a ton of new stitches at the time that I started this, so didn't get very far, but yeah. I don't remember the color name. I think this was a random piece of fabric that my mom gave me because she doesn't like linen. So she gave me all of her linen, which has been great because I have a cute little stash of linen that I can use for any projects that I want to look super fancy. So I don't remember the fabric name, but it's a brown. This next pattern is not cross stitch but black work, and it is by the Steady Thread. And it is the Botanical Blackwork Stitch Along. I am incredibly behind on this because you have to, it's like a weekly release for the entire year. I need to go and like download all the pieces before you have to buy them. But I do love this stitch along. It is gorgeous. Like I said, I love black work. So this pattern has been very fun for me. It's just a lot. Like it takes a good 45 minutes to sit down and do one of the squares, and I haven't been as motivated to pull it out, probably because it's more of a spring summer pattern and I worked on this a lot in the spring and summer. But yeah, I need to keep downloading the motifs and then sitting down and doing them. So I should probably make a note to do that before the year ends. and the files aren't available any longer. It is a free stitch along that you can sign up for, and there's a Facebook group and everything. But yeah, it's gorgeous. I think it's just a 16 count white fabric, and I'm doing them with the DMC variegated flosses, which gets me a nice gradient, and I've been enjoying that. All right, moving on. What is this? Oh, okay, this is the Climbing Goat Designs Hubble Space Telescope stitch along. This is a full coverage stitch along that I started in January as a gift for my husband, and then I got carried away with the Farming Magic stitch along by Flossy Fox Shop and kind of lost track of this one. This one is almost done. It looks like this right now, and it's absolutely stunning. And I really want to pick this one back up in a bit once I've caught up on and finished some other things. But I've gotten some beautiful fabric for it. You can see it's very shiny. It's an opalescent dyed Aida. I believe it's called Starry Night by Finn Stitcher's Factory. It came from the Netherlands. Or not the Netherlands. Oh my gosh, Finland. It came from Finland. And it's beautiful, and I love it, and I think it will accentuate the full coverage designs really, really well. So I've gotten the outlines, and I've gotten the first part started, but I have not made a lot of progress. I was just starting in full coverage when I started this pattern, and I've learned a lot about how I like to stitch full coverage, so I think when I pick this back up again, it will go a lot smoother. This also has oh goodness, help me. This has over 80 colors, I think. So if you're wondering where my floss stash went, it's these huge, massive patterns. Wow, it is really, really helpful to go through all these patterns and like see what I have left to do. All right. Again, this is also a huge one. This is my Hobbit full coverage stained glass. Looks like this. It's gorgeous. I'm on the second page on this one. It is full coverage. It is in like 93 pages. Again, I love full coverage. I've learned a lot about doing full coverage. And this thing just needs a dedicated setup to sit and be worked on. I will have a brand new craft room in my new home, and I'm so excited to show you guys. I will have like a large portion of my next video dedicated to that, because I've got lots of plans for organization and storage and whatever that I want to show off. But this thing needs like a bench setup because the fabric on it is huge. It's not fun to hold in my lap because it's so big. I'm tempted to get one of those stands that sits on a desk, and then I can just cover it up when I'm not working on it, or move it, or like set it in my lap when I want. But this thing really needs a stand when you work on it because it's so big. But I love that pattern, and I've made good progress over the year, I think, because I started it this year. Okay, 2 patterns left, guys. We're gonna make it. So the second to last pattern is the Farming Magic Stitch Along by Flossy Fox Shop, one of my favorite pattern designers. And the stitch along just finished, I believe, in August this month, this past month. I don't know when I'm actually going to post this video, but it looks like this. It's super, super cute. And this is how far I am on it. So not too far. I get sidetracked a lot. I also have a lot of pattern deadlines for my own designs, so I had to put this one down to work on my Ice and Fire stitch along. But it's super cute, and I am excited to pick it up again once I have a bit more time. So this one is being done on a sparkly opalescent 18 count Aida with all of the called for DMC. last pattern. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, no, I have a whole bag over there. Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm like, I knew I wasn't done. Look, I have a whole nother bag full. What is wrong with me? All right. Okay. So, only a few more, I promise. So this one I put away last year because I was angry at it and I hated the fabric. I'm still not a fan of this fabric, but I would love to finish this pattern this year. So this is the, what's it called? Lovely Autumn Sampler by Maria Bravko. I have finished the Christmas sampler in this series, and I also have the spring and summer ones, and I would love to do them. They're super easy. They're really, really quick patterns to stitch. Yeah, so that's what this one looks like. I believe this is a 28 count, just a generic Charles Crafty dyed linen. So it's really pretty, but it's really thin, and I don't like the thin linen. It's not my favorite thing to work on, but it is gorgeous. This pattern is so pretty, and it would be amazing to hang up in my new house. So I might pick this one back up again. It's got a lot of shading, so you do like 2 to 3 stitches and then you put it away. And I think that's one reason it was making me angry last time, as I wasn't used to doing that. But I love patterns that do that. I love the way they look. So I kind of just do it to myself at this point. This is the second to last pattern, I promise. This is the very first cross stitch pattern that I have ever done, or that I ever started. It's like what I actually learned to cross stitch on, and I don't remember what it's called, but this is my progress. I got barely any progress before I started a new pattern like the non-monogamous stitcher I am, but it's cute. It would not take me long to finish this. It's got a bunch of cool molecules, and it says honey, and then it's got a bunch of bees on it, so it would not take me long. I could seriously pump this out in a few weeks if I wanted to, and I want to. So hopefully this winter, you guys. All right, now is officially the last pattern in the pile. This is the Christmas sampler from Loyola Craft Shop. This rendering is not very great. It's a lot darker than it actually is. But I am doing it on a 32 count vintage country mocha. It's gorgeous. I actually was getting the itch to work on this this past week, and I pulled it out and I didn't work on it because I got distracted. But it's still gorgeous, and I still want to work on it because it's super cute. And this is just an adorable Christmas pattern. It's got all of the Christmas vibes on it. So yeah, very, very cute. Love it. And I think we made it through all of the WIPs, you guys. That's a lot of WIPs. Okay, at this point, I've got some haul to show you. Just a few patterns. It was my birthday a few weeks ago, in early August, and my mom got me the coolest pattern. Another full coverage pattern, because I need more full coverage patterns, right? I make so much progress on them. But this pattern is so cool. I love dragons and fantasy and blue, and this pattern is literally all 3 in one. It's like this really, really gorgeous dragon, and in its claws it's holding this really pretty fairy. I don't know how well you can see, but she's really pretty. And then of course it's blue, so it's blue dragon fairy pattern. Artwork is by Susan McKivergan, adapted by Tarina Clark in 2010. So it's an older pattern, but it's still gorgeous. And I'm going to make myself finish something before I start this, because full coverage patterns are a lot to kit up. So, but it's very pretty. Thank you, Mom. I love it. I also got a handful of patterns from Fiddlesticks AU. I will put little screenshots of them here. Again, I would love to start some of these here in the next few weeks once we move, and I've got some of my smaller ones out of the way. I also got 2 more bee patterns. I've gotten Telling the Bees by, I believe, the Little Stitcher, and I got Welcome to Our Hive. I forgot the designer's name. I will put the name on the screen here, but I would love to just put Welcome to Our Hive in the hallway, because my husband and I just have jokes about like, ooh, hive mind kind of thing in our family, and I thought that was just like a hilarious mix of cute I love bee things and also hive mind inside joke between him and I. So probably sounds really weird, but I think it would just be really cute in the entryway of our home. So yeah, oh my gosh. I guess I will talk a little bit about life in Needlework Marketplace and how that went. Thank you to everyone who has been watching thus far. I know this has been a much longer episode than usual, but I was kind of in the mood for a mid to late year WIP Parade after packing my entire life up. I should like pan the camera around and show you what it looks like from this angle, but yeah, so I participated in Needlework Marketplace this last weekend, and it was a total blast. If you don't know what Needlework Marketplace is, it's a place for designers like me and bigger name designers like Lindy Stitches, Finally a Farm Girl, all of those people to sell their patterns wholesale, specifically to needlework shops, whether they're brick and mortar shops or online needlework shops where you can buy supplies and patterns and stuff. So it was kind of the kick in the pants for me to finally get all of my patterns in print, which I'm so happy with how these turned out, you guys. So I've got like my Earth Day pattern, I've got my tulip pattern in print, I've got my flower froggy that I showed you guys a few weeks ago, and then I've got my newest one, Harvest Season. And I just had a great time talking with needlework shops and making all of these. It's a huge blast. I have been very, very busy this week packing orders for everyone. I've got little videos and pictures on my Instagram of some of the little things that I've done, shipping out orders for Marketplace. And yeah, just I'm trying to get all of the things done before we move, because moving was really unexpected. We kind of have been looking for a house for a while, but didn't quite have the budget because we live in a really expensive area in the US. But we finally found one that like fits our budget, is in a really ideal area for us, and it's the perfect size home. So we are super excited. We're supposed to be moving into the new house in mid-September. And yeah, we've been planning a lot. So my husband and I are both really crafty tinkerer people, so we've got lots of plans for kind of organizing our new rooms for our organization styles. We're both very visual, so we're converting a lot of our drawer storage to wall storage, like pegboard style, but not with pegboards. We have 3D printers, so we're kind of 3D printing a bunch of our organization. And I'm kind of using that idea and applying it to craft storage as well, because there's a lot of craft stuff that I have that I just forget that I have because I can't see it. So I'm trying to strategize and organize for that flaw and not stick a bunch of stuff in drawers and keep it all in a really nicely visual place for me that's like organized but not chaotic and like blown up everywhere, you know? So I'm going to be really busy over the next few weeks doing that, so I'm not sure how much stitching I will get, but I will have a cool craft room to show for all of my work when I'm done. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for joining me in this WIP Parade. I hope you had fun watching and seeing all my projects. and I will see you next time with a lot more to talk about. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Work, please. Well, I guess we'll see if that works. Whew. Excuse me.